2 minutes, 29.5 seconds. We're talking about the Arima Kinnin.
The Grand Prix.
2,500 meters at Nakayama Racecourse.
Yeah, and that's a tight, tricky track. It has a really short straight. It is just not designed for world records.
Exactly. So today we're doing a deep dive into the career of Zenno Rob.
On paper, he is royalty, born in 2000. His sire was Sunday Silence.
Which, for anyone who might be new to this, is essentially God tier. You really can't overstate how important Sunday Silence was to Japanese racing.
He transformed the entire industry. He's the sun that the whole Thoroughbreds solar system in Japan orbits around. So if Sunday Silence is your dad, expectations are through the roof.
And the dam side was strong too, right? Roman Rachel.
A Grade 1 winner in the U.S. So genetically, Zenno Rob was, engineered to be a superstar.
I love the name too, Zenno Rob. It's this weird mix of corporate branding and Scottish rebellion.
Right. The Zenno part comes from the owner, the president of Zenron.
The map company.
Yeah.
If you have ever used a car navigation system in Japan, you have definitely relied on their data.
Exactly. And then Rob Roy is from Rob Roy McGregor, the Scottish outlaw and folk hero.
So it suggests this, fighter, a rogue. But for the first part of his career, he wasn't really a rogue. He was fragile.
Yeah, that's the thing that stands out from his early logs. He didn't debut until February of his 3-year-old season.
That is incredibly late for a top-tier prospect, isn't it?
Very late. He was basically playing catch-up from day one.
Yeah.
His body, his constitution just wasn't strong enough to handle the training early on. And I really set the tone for what we call the almost era.
The almost era. That sounds so frustrating.
It is the worst kind of purgatory for a stable. He had obvious, massive talent. He won the Aoba Show trial race very impressively. People got excited.
But then he gets to the big one, the Japanese Derby.
The Tokyo Yushin. And he runs a great race, but just can't catch the winner, Neo Universe.
Okay, but losing to Neo Universe is no disgrace. He was a double classic winner.
True. But then autumn comes around. He wins another key trial, the Kobe Shimbun High. Looks like he's ready. But in the main events, 4th at the Kikashift, 3rd in the Arima Kinnin.
Third in the Arima Kinnin as a 3-year-old is actually really good. You're racing against the older, tougher horses.
It is, statistically. But the context is everything.
Whoa.
Who won that race?
Right. It was Simbali Chris S.
His own stablemate. This massive, dominant black horse. Simbali Chris S was the horse of the year. He was the alpha. He was on all the magazine covers. Zenno Rob was just the other horse in the barn.
That's going to be tough. It immediately positions him as the understudy.
And that story just got cemented when he turned 4. This is where, looking at the records, it just gets painful. Early 2004 should have been his moment. The stablemate's retired. The stage is his.
And instead, he just collects a bunch of silver medals.
I'm looking at the list now. 2nd in the Nikki Show, 2nd in the Tenno Show Spring, 2nd in the Kyoto Daisho 10.
He became the silver collector.
That is the dreaded label.
Yeah.
Consistency is a compliment, but silver collector is an insult. People started saying he lacked grunt. He was a nice horse, but he didn't have that killer instinct to win when it really mattered.
It's the difference between a great participant and a true champion. The champion just finds a way.
Harsh, but it's true.
So we're in the autumn of 2004. The horse is 4. He's talented, he's healthy, but everyone thinks he's a bit soft. What on earth changes? Because what happens next is just a complete transformation.
A new pair of hands. The team brought in Olivier Peslier,
The French jockey.
one of the best in the world. And it's fascinating how a horse can just click with a certain rider. Peslier just seemed to give him this new kind of confidence.
So what was the first test?
The Tennis Show Autumn, 2,000 meters at Tokyo. It's a speed race. And finally, the dam broke. He didn't just place, he won. His first Grade 1.
That must have been a massive sigh of relief for the whole team.
It was like they took a governor off an engine. The psychological barrier was gone. He went straight from there to the Japan Cup, the big international race, and he won that too, decisively.
So in a matter of weeks, he goes from Mr. Second Place to winning 2 of the biggest races on the calendar. He is on a roll.
But the real test, the historic test, was the 3rd one, the Arima Kinnin.
Okay, let's pause and really unpack this autumn Triple Crown for a second. This isn't just winning 3 random races. It's winning the Tennis Show, Japan Cup, and Arima Kinnin back to back to back.
October, November, December. It is a grueling schedule. I mean, by modern standards, it's almost physically irresponsible to ask a horse to do that.
Because these are all peak efforts.
Exactly. You have the high speed of the Tenno show at 2,000 meters, then the stamina test of the Japan Cup at 2,400 against international horses, and then the Arima Kinnin at 2,500 on that grinding Nakayama track.
So you need speed, stamina, and just incredible durability.
You need to be made of iron. Most modern trainers won't even attempt it now. Before Zenno Rob Roy, only one horse in history, TM Pro, had ever managed it.
So he enters the 2004 Arima Kinnin, presumably a bit tired. The field is stacked. And this is where we get back to that number, 2.29.5.
The race starts, and the pace is hot. There was a horse named Tap Dance City, a really tough frontrunner.
Oh, yeah, he would just try to run them all off their feet.
That was the plan. Set a blistering pace and burn everyone else out. Usually it works. But Peslier just kept Rob Roy in this perfect rhythm. He didn't panic. And when they turned into that short Nakayama straight, the acceleration was just something else. He didn't just catch Tap Dance City. He blew right past him.
And the clock stopped. 2.29.5.
To give you some context on that, in the 20 years since that race, with better track surfaces, better breeding, supposedly faster horses, no one has broken that record. On that day, Zenno Rob Roy was perfect, the best horse on the planet. He completed the Autumn Triple Crown. He was named Horse of the Year. He was the undisputed king.
But the thing about kings is they get overthrown. And this is where that quiet emperor idea really takes hold. His reign at the very top was incredibly short.
It was one glorious autumn. That was it. That was his peak. When he came back as a 5-year-old, they decided to try and conquer the world. They sent him to the UK for the international stakes.
At York, a Japanese horse on English turf running uphill. I mean, that is a massive challenge. The ground is softer, the track undulates.
It's a completely different sport, almost. But he had Yutaka Take in the saddle. And for a moment, it looked like he was going to do it. He hit the front. You can hear the surprise in the announcer's voice.
Until the last 50 meters. Ugh, I hate this part of the story.
Electrocutionist, an Italian horse with a wicked turn of foot, just caught him right on the line.
To lose by a neck after traveling halfway around the world, that hurts.
It broke the spell. It was a world-class performance, but it was still a defeat. And when he came back to Japan, he just wasn't quite the same horse. He slipped back into his old habits.
The almost era was back.
Second in the Tenno Show Autumn. Third in the Japan Cup. He was still great, still competitive, but that cloak of invincibility was gone.
And then came the final race, the 2005 Arima Kinnin, a race that's now maybe the most famous of the decade, but not because of Zenno Rob Roy.
No. This race was all about the arrival of Deep Impact.
The new god.
He was the undefeated Triple Crown winner. He could fly. The entire nation was there to see him.
So Rob Roy is the old guard, Deep Impact is the future. And of course, that's the race where Deep Impact famously lost to Heart's Cry.
Exactly. The whole world was in shock. Deep Impact lost. It was front page news. And in all of that chaos, nobody really paid attention to the fact that Zenno Rob Roy finished 8th.
8th? That is so unlike him.
It was the only time in his entire career he finished unplaced. He twisted a leg a little bit at the start and just couldn't run his race. He limped home, totally overshadowed, and was quietly retired immediately after.
Wow. That is just a tragic way to go out. He gets squeezed between the dominance of Simile Chryses before him and the absolute mania of Deep Impact after him.
He was the bridge between two monumental eras. A very, very good bridge, but people tend to focus on the destinations.
So he goes to stud. And you'd think, Autumn Triple Crown winner, world record holder, son of Sunday Silence, he'd be a gold mine. Did he become a great sire?
Yes and no. Mostly no. He started out pretty well. He had a classic winner, Santamillion, who won the Oaks. He had a top dirt horse in Meg Finnica, so he showed he could do it. But over time, he just got a reputation for producing solid horses.
Solid, the enemy of great.
Pretty much. He produced honest winners who earned their keep, but he wasn't producing the next superstar, and his reputation as a stallion sort of faded, just like his racing career. He passed away peacefully in September 2022.
And if we were doing this deep dive in 2022, that would be the end of it. A good horse who ran really fast one time. But looking at the notes for 2025, there's a huge plot twist.
A major one. And this is why we do these deep dives, right? To connect the dots years later. Zenno Rob Roy is having a huge renaissance. But it's not through his sons, it's through his daughters.
He's becoming an elite broodmare sire.
He is. His genetics are turning out to be the secret ingredient for modern champions. You look at a horse like Sirius Colt, who won the Negata Daisho 10, or Excite Bio in the Radio Nikfai show. Rob Roy is right there in the pedigree, anchoring it.
But the real mic drop moment, the thing that makes this so timely, is the 2025 Breeders' Cup Classic.
Yep, this is the part that changes the whole story.
The winner of the biggest dirt race in America is connected to him.
We're talking about Forever Young.
The Japanese horse that took down the American giants on their home turf.
Zenno Rob is his great uncle. If you trace the bloodlines, that durability, that ability to carry speed over a classic distance, those are Rob Roy traits coming through 2 generations later.
That's incredible. It's like his DNA just needed a generation to rest before exploding back onto the scene.
It completely validates his quality. You don't get Breeders' Cup Classic winners from weak stock. It forces you to reevaluate that quiet legacy. He didn't found a dynasty himself, but his influence is now critical.
So let's pull this all together. We've got the Quiet Emperor, we have this unbreakable record, and now we have this big resurgence in his bloodline. Why do you think his stock is finally rising?
I think it comes down to scarcity. As we talked about, modern racing is different. Trainers are much more protective of their horses. They might race 4, maybe 5 times a year.
It's just considered too risky.
Exactly. So that achievement is becoming like an endangered species.
Yeah.
It is statistically so unlikely that we'll see another horse do what Rob Roy did in 2004 for a very, very long time.
So the further away we get from that season, the more impossible it looks.
Yes. We're realizing that durability is its own special kind of talent. We tend to overvalue flashy speed, but the ability to show up, race at your peak, recover, and do it again and again, that is a superpower.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more.